Welcome back to Basic Course in Mathly. Week 6 is completed. We have had 6 lessons in week 6 and we are now going to have an overview of what we have learnt in week 6. So, the broad topics that we covered in week 6 are simple sentences, then we also talked about existential verbs, we talked about word classes, phrase types, sentences and sentence types, pronouns, possessive pronouns, accusative and objective pronouns, and we also got an exposure to 3 conversations, real life conversations covering 3 different topics. So, we learnt about simple existential sentences and negation. In this part, we discussed about simple existential sentences. We also discussed about how to use the words like achi, chi and chaik. They are basically the main copular existential verbs that are also used in as auxiliary verbs. We also got to know how we negate the existential sentences. We also got to know the negative particle and how to use the permissive negation word. We also talked about honorificity. Note that honorificity is a very special feature of Mathly which is not found in many of the languages of the world. As we started with the sentence construction, we got to know that honorificity is one of the central points of Mathly. Honorificity decides which pronoun to use and how the agreement markers reflect on the verbs. We know that there are 4 levels of honorificity in Mathly. Honorificity reflects the social relationship between the addresser, the addressee and the subject being discussed about. So, honorificity is not just a small grammatical feature, rather it governs the whole of the discourse being talked about. So, when you are talking or discussing about anything, which topic you are discussing about, how much of respect, how much of calling addressee is being given, how much of importance are you giving to the different participants of the conversation, these are very important things when you talk or write in Mathly. So, amongst the possessive pronouns, we discussed about the possessive pronouns in Mathly, specifically in lesson 6.3. We got to know how noun phrases are made with possessive pronouns. So, we learnt about hamar ghar, tohar ghar, aha ka ghar and things like that. Then in lesson 6.4, we started with the conversation titled Cleaning the House and learned about how the daily use sentences when people clean the house. We also learnt about the accusative pronouns. In lesson 6.5, we got to know a bit deeper about it and also knew the experiential properties of the objective pronouns. We also learnt how to use the accusative postposition with nouns when the nouns appear in the object position. In lesson 6.6, we explored a conversation about planning an event and saw the real use cases of the accusative pronouns. So, these were our lessons for week 6. In week 7, we will discuss about demonstrative pronouns and then move on to tense. And of course, conversations will always be a part of it, so that you get to know more about the real life sentences, so that your focus should be more on the speech part of Mathly rather than the written part of it. Thank you.